mysteries of creation are there.
Up in the sky.
Up in the sky.
The moon and the planets are there. And new hopes for knowledge and peace are there.
Welcome to your Inner Journey weather forecast, in which we forecast the themes and qualities in your psychedelic journeys this week, or in the psychedelic journeys of your clients this week of September 25th to October 2nd. So let's have a look at archetypal explorer so that we can understand the energies in the collective this week and how they might show up. So here we are. This is a bit of last week and this week on archetypal explorer. And you can see that we're in between the trough of two major transits. So the first is Mercury Pluto, and the second is a Venus, Uranus, Jupiter T-square. So what does that all mean? Let's start with Mercury Pluto. So Mercury Pluto has to do with, a great way of understanding Mercury Pluto is to think in terms of the Greco-Roman pantheon in which these planets got their names. And in that pantheon, Pluto was the lord of the underworld, the god of the underworld. And as such, he always remained hidden beneath the earth where the powers of transformation resided. So Pluto is associated with that which is hidden, that which is powerful, and that which is transformative. Mercury was the messenger of the gods, and Mercury, the planetary archetype, astrological archetype of Mercury, has to do with the transmission of data, communication, thinking, corresponding, perceiving, the transmission of data using the mind and using our communication capabilities. So when Mercury and Pluto get together, themes come up around communicating the hidden and communicating. Also, there can be power struggles in communication. So an excellent example of this is Edward Snowden. And Edward Snowden, you may know him from kind of outing the United States as a surveillance state for surveilling its own citizens. So his life is, he was born with Mercury Pluto, and his life is very representative of Mercury Pluto, because a big theme in his life is talking about hidden communications, perceiving Mercury, the hidden the hidden Pluto communications, Mercury, talking about Mercury, the hidden Pluto communications, Mercury. Also a kind of a power struggle of communications. The power struggle has to do with Pluto and communications against Mercury. And so let me pull up a little quote here of Edward Snowden. So he says, "I can't in good conscience allow the US government to destroy privacy, internet freedom, and basic liberties for people around the world with this massive surveillance machinery they're secretly building." So big theme in his life has to do with the secrecy, the hiddenness, also the surveillance, the data, the communication. And so in our inner journeys this week, we may encounter themes of secret communications or communications coming up from the hidden realms within us to be expressed. So it could be like some vocalization of some deep, powerful, transformative drive within us, some pre-verbal response. That's very Plutonic. Pluto is associated with the lowest chakras, the areas that are pre-socialization. And again, Mercury communication. We can also see to the depths, see into the hidden, seeing, perceiving Mercury into the hidden, Plutonic depths, Pluto, and have a transformation around communication, transformation, Pluto, communication, Mercury. To such an extent, there may also be involved a sense of empowerment around communication. Empowerment, Pluto, power, Pluto, communication, Mercury, maybe even a sense of aligning our voice and our message with the larger evolutionary power of nature, and the larger kind of elemental power of nature, which is associated with Pluto. Pluto is associated with the elemental power and the elemental will of life. So the power of nature to destroy and rebirth, forest fires, hurricanes, elemental raw power of nature. So another person born with Mercury Pluto is Liv Tyler, and she exhibits this well in the scene from Lord of the Rings, in which she's protecting Frodo, the Hobbit, and she uses her voice to summon the power of nature to destroy her enemies. And so she's exhibiting that Mercury Pluto there, and that the voice is aligned with the elemental power of nature. So Mercury Pluto, very powerful this week. Also, Mercury is going into retrograde, so that the either perceiving the hidden depths or the hidden message, or feeling like our own message gets aligned with the elemental power of nature and the universal will of life. What the message is, or the style in which it comes, maybe hearkening back in our lives to something previous. That's what the Mercury retrograde is about. A sense of hearkening back to, a previous message, a previous uncovering an insight from a previous period in our life. That's that retrograde. So let's have a look at an energy that is less deep and intense and more uplifting, which is the Venus, Jupiter, Uranus T-square that we are currently in. That may as well show up in the psychedelic journeys. Venus having to do with love, the heart, beauty. Uranus is associated with the rebel energy, the excitement energy, the thrill energy, the technological innovation energy. And Jupiter is associated with abundance, celebration, uplifting, optimism. And so we can use as an example, some fun examples of people that were born with Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, T-square. Robert Pattinson was born with this T-square, and he starred in the movie Twilight, in which he was known as the handsome kind of Venusian male who sparkles in the sunlight. And here we have a clip of Robert Pattinson sparkling in the sunlight. And that sparkle is the Uranian aspect there, that there's this kind of like electric thrill to his beauty, to his aesthetic, and the fact that he's a celebrated kind of, like a celebrated model of beauty is the Jupiterian aspect, the Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter, Uranus combination. There is this kind of this leap of celebration of the beauty and the love that is very unique. We can also see in the storyline of Twilight, not just him as a person being celebrated for kind of like this aesthetic beauty that sparkles, but also in the storyline of Twilight, it's about a love that he has with this. It's a strange love because it's between a human and a vampire, but they win in the end. The love is celebrated in the end. That's Jupiter. The strangeness, Uranus. The love, Venus, Jupiter, Uranus. We can also see Venus, Jupiter, Uranus in the birth chart of Megan Fox. Megan Fox, someone who's celebrated for her beauty, celebrated Jupiter, beauty, Venus, a kind of a Venusian figure of beauty. Though her claim to fame, or she came into fame in the Transformers movies, where she was alongside this kind of sparkling technological futuristic kind of aesthetic of the movie, and that's the Uranian aspect. So the Venus beauty, the Uranian, the kind of sci-fi, futuristic, technological, innovative, and then Jupiter, the kind of the bounty and celebration of that beauty in that context. Another great example of Venus, Jupiter, Uranus is Cat Stevens, the musician. So he has a famous song, perhaps his most famous song, called Wild World, I believe it's called, in which he's, in the lyrics of the song, he's actually setting his lover free. So he was born with Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, and he's setting his lover free. So the lover is associated with Venus, love. Uranus is like we said, the rebellious energy, the innovative energy, the excitement energy, it's also associated with freedom. And so there's a sense of giving the love freedom, and the song itself is a celebration of the beauty of his lover. So it's very Jupiterian. It's a celebration of the beauty of his lover as he's setting the lover free, letting the lover go. That's that Uranian aspect. So Venus, Jupiter, Uranus. So these are the major alignments this week that we are experiencing as a collective, and depending on where they land in your natal chart, they may figure very prominently for you as well in your life, in your psychedelic journeys, perhaps in the psychedelic journeys of your clients, if you're sitting for others during their psychedelic journeys. So keep your eye out for these energies. Think of these celebrities, think of these situations, these clips, these crystallizations of these archetypal combinations, so that you get kind of a hint of the flavor, so that when it comes up in your own life, you recognize it. And in recognizing it, we want to allow it to guide us. We want to allow it to show us what it has to offer us, what lessons it has to offer us. And with that, I wish you a wonderful week. And I look forward to being with you next week. I hope you enjoy your Mercury, Pluto, and Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, T-square. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and we'll see you soon.